So right now they only do the pterygoid implant exclusively for Supreme Dental.
So it's been a real game changer. It has helped a lot of our patients out.
To be able to walk out with immediate loads.
That is, yeah.
Yes.
It's hard to place this implant, but it's crazy to actually design an implant.
It's been a crazy year. Like if we go back 1 year today, it's a whole different thing.
Oh my God, yeah.
We're doing
It's a
very
big
different
difference.
things. Yeah,
Very
the
different.
clinic has just full out blown.
Welcome back to Supreme Dental Podcast Studio. You can be anywhere else in the world right now, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is Frank Navarro. My wife and I are the owners of Supreme Dental Clinic. And remember, this podcast was meant for you, the patient. And today we have two very special guests here with us. We have Dr. Elias.
Thank you, Frank. It's always an honor to be here.
And we have Dr. Luis.
Thank you, Frank, for the invitation.
Today we're going to talk about what we've been wanting to talk about for a couple months already. Today we're talking about Supreme Dental Pro. We're talking about an implant that was created exclusively for us. Pretty much by us. You guys both were key to designing this implant. We have Pini Naftali, shout out to Pini. And we were crazy enough to believe we were able to design an implant. But he was crazier to listen to us and develop an implant that he's never developed before, which was a pterygoid implant. I remember me messaging him and telling him, hey, is there anybody in Israel who you believe can do this pterygoid implant? And he said, give me about a week. And then he came back like a couple hours later and he said, I talked to my people and we could develop it for you. It was a lot of going back and forth really early in the morning, if you guys remember.
Yes, Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
Sunday mornings.
yeah.
Yeah. And I think Lise was at church, because he goes to church like at 3 in the morning, supposedly.
He was probably here.
And it was, my wife was a big part of the design of the box. This is, for the first time, guys, this is Supreme Dental Pro. This is the box. I don't know if you guys could see it, but this is the box right here. In the back, it has the logo of Supreme Dental right here. And this is the little box right here, Supreme Dental Pro, the pterygoid implant. So, super excited. So, talk to me about it, guys. What do you guys think? I mean, where's your head at right now? Because one thing is being a dentist, and another thing is designing an implant, helping in the design of an implant. And here it is. Like, it's alive. It's here. Talk to me.
Wow. For example, in my opinion, it's a surprise, Supreme, to make an implant, because how many clinics this develop one implant, for example, is very difficult. But here we have the long implant, the pterygoid implant. It's a surprise because right now, Supreme has a different techniques, a new technology. I can combine this implant with the new technology we have here in Supreme Dental. Is a big solution for the patients with a lot of problems on the bone density. And with this implant, I can help a lot of people here. It's a wonderful experience to me, this implant here.
Wow, he said it best.
He did.
Yeah,
he actually did. You've been practicing? Because that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Where's the script? Is there a screen? Because that was the commercial.
Yeah. Wow, I don't want to speak anymore.
What happened?
What happened? Yeah. I am
He is a
excited.
robot. I was a robot.
Yeah.
I told you.
For sure.
It's because I was in Harvard.
Oh, wow.
So far.
And the trick is out.
Yeah. He said it out loud.
You know,
He
what's
probably
great?
thought about it, but
Before you give me your point of view, what I want you guys to understand is this is a pterygoid implant. This is one of the hardest implants right next to the zygomatic implant to be placed, right?
I believe it's harder. I don't believe it's harder. The doctors that do zygomatics and pterygoids, they believe this is difficult.
So this implant is extremely difficult
Yeah.
to do. Here in Algodones, just so you guys can get a feel for it, they say there's over, 5,000 dentists?
Around so.
Give or take. I think that's what they say, but I don't know. I never counted them, but 5,000 dentists, not dental clinics, dentists. How many dentists do you think perform pterygoid implants here in Algodones?
I don't think I know for a fact that it's 4 of us.
4 of you guys.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's insane. So it's extremely hard to do this implant.
Yes.
Now think about how hard is it to develop it. Like, this is crazy. So this is crazy to do the implant, but it's now even crazier to being able to develop our own line of implant. But we didn't, just to clear before Dr. Elias give us it, I feel like I'm talking too much, but we didn't get this off of a cereal box, guys. You know, Implant It, they actually, it's a pretty much a line of their implant, supremedental Pro. They actually developed the pterygoid implant. So it's not like we developed our own implant. We went to Home Depot and we milled it, and then we did. It's a company that, it's alive. It's a company that's been doing this for over 15, 20 years. It's a well-recognized implant that we use, who actually made life to supremedental Pro. We'll go for it.
As I mentioned in previous podcasts, it was an idea of the things that we were seeing in the clinic, the cases that we were seeing. I think Supreme has developed a standard for being one of the top all-on-4 full arch clinics in the world. So a lot of the patients that we see have become more complicated cases. We're getting more complicated cases by the day, and difficult cases, they're sent our way. So we needed an answer to anchor deeper bone, better bone. We started with, first of all, with techniques, and then we found for a fact that we needed a longer implant with a different thread design, with a different apex. And just like everything else that we have come up with the clinic, me and Luis talk about it.
Yep.
And then we go to you. And we told you, hey, you know what? We need this type of implant. And the crazier thing was that you came back within a week and you're like, yeah, we're going to develop an implant. You're like, I know the guy, I know the CEO. That was just like
yes,
crazy.
I remember.
That was crazy.
I remember the first example in the first design dentist implant. The last
The
size
The tip.
looks a little more
Flat.
Flat, yes.
Yeah.
I talked with Dr. Elias about this situation. I don't like the size because it's very flat. It's a problem when I need to place this implant in this bone, pterygoid bone,
yeah,
because
dense
it's very hard. It's necessary to change the design in this area for a different size. No flat, and so more pointy.
Right.
But I talked with Elias about this anatomy.
And then
with the adjustment, now Dr. Elias is because Dr. Elias right now can do the pterygoid implant. The torque is much better. Now the implant can
Engage.
Yes, engage on this bone.
Oh yeah, and Pini ran, obviously he did so many tests on this implant.
Yeah.
And he said, this is one of the strongest, if not the strongest implant that they've done. So, techniques that are been here perhaps will be adapted to what he's doing, and they will be selling this in the future, but not for a while. So right now they only do the pterygoid implant exclusively for supremedental.
Yeah, and we were very picky about it.
Extremely picky.
We were really picky
about the threads too.
About threads, the length, the design, even the shape of how it was going to be. But this is because of our experience and the knowledge and the courses that we've been through and the type of bone that we want to get. It's a different ball game for this implant. It's not just a longer implant. It's just different. We can also use this implant for when we want to do all on fours and we want to engage with the floor of the nose. And when the bone is very, it's not as dense, we can use this implant in all on fours on the distal implants as well because of its length. So it's been a real game changer. It has helped a lot of our patients out.
To be able to walk out with immediate loads.
That is, yeah.
Yes.
I seen these cases and I couldn't believe it. I remember you guys said, what sizes can we get? And I go, what sizes do you need? Because, we had to do we did a total of 3 or 4 sizes at the end, right?
We did 18, 20, and 22.
22.
Three different sizes. Three different sizes. And he also developed the kit.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to, he's sending us a gift, which is another kit as a gift. So thank you so much. And I want to play a clip so you guys could see and you guys could get to meet the CEO, Pini Neftali. He sent us a clip all the way from Israel.
Hi everyone, my name is Pini Neftaliev and I'm the CEO and founder of Implant and Dental Implant Systems from Israel. I'm super glad to present myself today and in my company and to talk about a very special and unique work we made for Supreme. So my company is developing and manufacturing in-house 100% in Israel dental implant systems, prosthetics, tools for almost all the possible cases out there. We made the PTR Pterygoid Implant exclusively for Supreme. It was very special for me because companies like Supreme are looking for exact implant they need for their requirements, and for me it's very unique and very special and super interesting to have this kind of opportunities and projects. And besides the fact Supreme are awesome people and I love to work with Frank, he's a super professional person, and I can see how big they are and how fast they success, and I'm super honored to have the opportunity to collaborate with this kind of, first of all, people, and after that professionals and great company. So cheers to all of you guys from Mexico, from here, from Israel, and cheers to all of you guys on this podcast. I really hope to have the opportunity soon to visit Mexico. I love this country for many reasons. I love to work with this country. I love the people in this country, and I love to travel in this country. And cheers to all of you guys. Thanks for the opportunity.
Welcome to Dental Facts. Did you know that your teeth, like your bones, are alive? They got their own blood supply and nerves. A tooth can die. You heard it first at Supreme Dental Podcast. Floss, brush, and keep smiling.
That's awesome. That came all the way from Israel. And there's something in my mind that's been going through, guys. I'm not a dentist. I have many questions. But it's been a big, big debate for me. Because when you seen Pini, you said that he was like the titanium version of Alonzo.
Yes.
So if we can please get the picture of Pini, Neftali up. Pini, hopefully you don't get mad. And you get the picture of Alonzo. These are good-looking people, man.
Yeah. Good-looking cats.
Are these guys like Armani, Dior? I don't know the Dior, but for sure they could be Armani.
Yeah, they're variants. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you. Talented and good-looking. At least we're talented.
We had to have something.
We have to have something. We can't ask for all. We're healthy. So I'm just so excited, man. So excited for everything. Pini, definitely, we're going to do some with him later on. We're going to do a podcast, and obviously I'd wish you guys to be here also.
Of course.
All the way to Israel. He's super proud of this.
Okay.
But where does this lead, man? I mean, we got PTR. We got Supremedental podcast. One of the things that I will never forget, that when this implant was developed, I called both of you guys up. When this box arrived, because this box arrived, he first sent me one box. Actually, you guys don't know, but he sent me a box. He showed me a box, and the box had printed wrong. And that delayed another 2 weeks. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And I wanted like a white box that didn't make sense. And my wife thought it was ugly. He even thought it was ugly. I wanted to get a logo that had like an implant, like the one that everybody uses. And my wife was like, no, let's do this. And it's this black case. And let's do this. And when you open it up, it shows like right there the pterygoid system, and it shows the implants right there. And even Pini said, you know what, I'm kind of jealous of this black box. He's like, this is pretty awesome. My wife designed the box. Shout out to my wife, because she's also a big part of the design of the box. I was no part of the design of the box. This is not me whatsoever. Mine would have been...
all work is your wife.
Mine would have been like, I don't know, man, like with some silver sparkles and some bedazzle on the Supreme or something. Because she's very minimal. I think that's what it's called, minimalist. And I'm like, nah, man, the more it has, the better, right? But I will never forget when I gave you guys a call, and I gave you a call. You didn't answer because you were on a trip to the beach. You were in the beach somewhere.
Yeah.
And I called you, and you were like, oh, man, I can't believe it. You were super excited. And I video chatted you.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you seen the box, and you were like, ah. But when I video chatted you, that you called me back, I actually have that picture. And we're going to post this picture up. Because he's like this. Like, he's just like, I can't believe it. Because he's like, my / creation also, because this is part of creation also, that you guys are part of this.
Right.
Yeah,
It's alive. It's alive. And I have that picture, so you guys will really appreciate that picture. It's an awesome picture of Elias. And you've never seen the picture, so it's going to be awesome. You're going to have to wait for the podcast to see it.
Please.
Next Wednesday.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for all this. What's next? You asked me, we talked about so many different things, but what's next, guys? I mean, we just had an episode that aired already about all the technology that we're having. And Dr. Lees was out. Now we're talking about the implant, of developing implants, guys. And it's hard to place this implant, but it's crazy to actually design an implant. And what better than the doctors that do the implant and the company that creates implants, and they get together to know what do the doctors need, and the doctors what will make it work better scientifically, and everything together it creates this.
It's a combination.
This is the baby.
They're engineers, us as doctors,
doctor experience,
all that stuff. So, what's next, guys? What's coming? What do you guys give me your thoughts? Give me your.
It's been a crazy year. Like if we go back 1 year today, it's a whole different thing.
Oh my God! Yeah.
We're doing very different things. Yeah, the clinic has just full out blown this year. I think we're making great strides. We're making big noise, not just here in Los Algodones, that's for a fact, but around the world, for sure.
And I still think we got a lot of things to do. I think I always tell you guys, I feel like we're like at 30% of what we could actually do.
And that's the thing that we're never satisfied. Us as doctors, we always want more. You always want more. And
that's right.
We get together, and the sky's the limit, honestly. Because
the sky is the limit.
Because we've come up with some crazy ideas, and as I mentioned before, Aida and you make it happen, and we cannot believe we got an implant now.
I might have to eat beans for 2 weeks or 3 weeks to be able to get those things, but it works out. Yeah, man. I mean, obviously we talked about the different places where we're going for training. You talked about Singapore. Both of you guys are going. You talked about Greece, Mykonos. Both of you guys are going.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure there's going to be things that are going to be added on.
Yeah, and Singapore is the World Cup.
The World Cup
held once every 4 years of the Straumann brand implant. Yeah. So that's a big event. That's the biggest event.
It's a party.
It's a big party.
It's a big party. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a World Cup. Yeah.
It's a big party, and I don't know what else, because guys, knowing us, I'm already thinking about 4 or 5 things that I haven't ran through you guys, and I think it's gonna be game changers. And those are the things that get me super excited, because obviously having innovation in dentists like you guys and a lot of people in our team, and having my wife that backs me up, and I have crazy ideas and I listen to other people's crazy ideas. George has crazy ideas. It just all works out. So I think that 2024 is gonna be
A great year.
it's gonna be insane. And if it's 2024 is just as good as 2023, I'm completely fine with that.
Also am I. It's and if we go back, like even when we were students and we would look up to these dentists that are like world renowned, I would think, I'm guessing Luis as well, like, wow, I want to get there one day. Or would I ever get there one day? Will I ever be able to work with all these devices, machines, the technology? And we're pretty much living the dream. I mean, we're developing implants. We're doing the implants. We have the pig cam, the technology.
Never on my student life I believe in me work with all technology.
Crazy.
With this implant. It's a dream.
Yeah.
Really is a dream.
It really is.
Right? Wow. Yeah.
So your guys' teachers, the teachers you guys had in school, have they ever developed an implant?
No.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yes.
And most of the dentists that you guys follow, have they ever developed an implant?
Very few. Very few.
Yes.
Very few.
Very few, yeah.
Holtzclaw and their team, how they developed it.
We're talking about
10%. 10%.
Do you think 10%?
I think less.
Yeah, I think
less.
like a 3%.
3?
Yeah.
3? Okay.
3,
yeah.
2, maybe.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And we happen to be one of them. So we got a lot of things to do, guys. We got a lot of patients. And just like they said, every time we get patients, that cases are just harder because they've been told no in other places. And there's hope. Here at Supreme, there's hope.
Yes.
If we could do it, we will do it. If we can't do it, we'll let them know.
Right.
But with all the new technology and all the new techniques you guys have,
The new
and
implant.
all the trainings, the implant, everything all in all works together and creates that supreme magic that you said in one of your videos.
Yeah.
You know, and it's we're very fortunate, and our patients, they when they come in, guys, they're super happy to be helped by you guys. A lot of our patients, and shout out to all of our patients that watch this podcast, that tell me every day that they come in, every day that I come into the clinic, at least once a day, someone comes up to me and tells me, hey, I seen your guys' podcast, and that made me decide to come here. The things that you were saying made sense. The things that your doctors were saying make sense. And I say, hey, I sound like a commercial. The podcast was meant for you, the patient, because it was. You know, it's
Yeah.
that's why we do it. So shout out to each and every one of you guys that, you know, watch this podcast, even our own people in our team, you know, Luceli, you know, my wife, you know, Ernesto, you know, Jessica, that watch these podcasts, and they're like, Luceli in Cancun, oh, it's podcast Wednesday. You know, she's super excited. George, that he tells me, hey man, this podcast was fire, man. This podcast was good. You know, everybody who backs us up, that kind of motivates me. I know right now, as we speak, when you guys get out of here right now, you guys are going to go back and you have, I don't even know how many patients
A lot.
you're going to do. And we have a lot of patients, and
Yes.
we take the time to come in here, and sometimes it's late. Sometimes you guys are super tired. Shout out also to, nothing to do with dental, but my barber for getting me in. He always keeps me looking fresh. And to Chris Renteria from New Era in Yuma, Arizona. Best haircuts. If you were in dental, you'd be a huge competition, bro. But thank God you're not. So, you know, this podcast is about to end, and this is gonna be one of the last podcasts of 2023.
Oh.
Wow.
Is there, you know, in 2023 is when we opened this podcast, and it started all with
Here's the first.
an
year.
idea. So the mic is yours, guys. What do you guys want to say? Talk away. And we got a couple minutes.
All right. After we did the last podcast, and then, you know, I was like draining in everything that we're doing as I was driving back home, which is an hour drive daily.
Yeah.
That's when it takes time for me to actually calm down from all this adrenaline from the surgeries and the patients, and and I'm not even listening to music or anything like that, but I was just doing a self-reflect. What would I say to myself 6 years ago?
Right.
To that one student that had a lot of crazy belief in himself.
Yeah.
That it might have been to a point where he was probably in his mind a little bit arrogant, egocentric.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, but because I have a crazy belief in myself, and I would tell him that you're right. You're doing the right thing. You're whatever you believed in back then, you're on that path.
Wow.
So and it's not because of just myself. The people that I've surrounded myself with have pushed me to that level. So I'm thankful for the Supreme family for sure.
It's a family here. Supremedental is a family. I am sure. When I remember my life, it's a very hard process. From my dental school to here, I can remember everything. It's a step by step. But for example, my first 5 years is the most complicated time. But this time is not complicated. It's very excited time, because every year is the innovation. Every year I can see the big change here in this office, different technologies. Now it's not hard. Now it's excited to me. This time.
Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you all the way to Israel, to Pini Naftali from Implant, and for the whole crew for being there, for helping us out, and for developing this amazing implant and their own amazing implants that we utilize from multi-units. Remember, we asked for a different size.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh man, we really need this multi-unit, Frank.
Thank you.
What is it, a 45 degree?
45 degree, yeah.
45 degree, and this other company
Frank,
does it, but what do you think? And I said, I don't know, man. I could ask. And I told him, and he said, yeah, we can do it. And then it was done.
Why not?
Yeah, it's like our parent, right? You go ask him for things.
And
hey, Frank.
And I'm like, oh man, Penny one day is gonna block me. Actually, I just told him, hey man, sorry to bother you, man. I know I bother you a lot. And he's like, oh no, man, no. You don't bother me, brother. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I think you're lying. But thank you so much all the way to Israel. Obviously, we want to do a lot of things. We hopefully, maybe, who knows, maybe 2024 we go to Israel. We fly out there to go meet Pini. I know Pini's going to be in the United States this year because they're opening a large facility in Florida. And I've heard Florida has a nice beach. So, maybe who knows? Maybe we decide to drop in and take a look at this new facility, maybe get a VIP. Maybe George doesn't want to go.
No, right?
No, he's a algodones homebody.
Citizen.
Yeah, he likes Peñasco or a golf.
Peñasco.
Yeah,
It's good.
so
Golfo.
but thank you so much for watching, guys. This is one of the last podcasts of 2023.
It's been a pleasure.
Been a pleasure, guys.
yeah,
It's been a
fun.
huge
It's a
pleasure. My first podcast who I recorded it with, it was with Luis.
Yeah.
First podcast was with Luis, and we were like robots. We were like, my name is Frank. Boop boop beep boop.
My name is Luis.
And Luis is like, oh, man, I can't do this. I'm just so, because
He wouldn't even speak English.
I'm like, you could place an implant and you could open someone's gum, and it's like if it's a thing of a car, and but you can't. You get nervous on a mic, and
Yes.
and
now look at him. He's freestyling.
and now he's just like, well, I reminisce on everything that we've done in 2023, and so really really proud of the way it's developed. Now you were like, you were never really you were nervous in the beginning, but not really really nervous, and now you're just like, oh man, when are we gonna do another podcast?
Yeah.
So it's awesome, guys, and like I said, trainings have been done. You guys are 10 times better than what you guys got here.
Sure.
And
sure.
I think next year will be a huge leap for patients, for us. And my goal is to be able to limit the percentage to people that when they come in, they could do it. They can get it done. Yeah, even money-wise, if it's financing or whatever it is. But we will make it happen. And we got the Botox, like I said, the Botox Center. So next time, perhaps, Dr. Luis will have bigger lips. Who knows? Who knows?
Please.
Elias, when he smiles, there isn't going to be no wrinkles right here. It's going to be all like this. But who knows? But this has been Supremedental Podcast. 2023. I want to thank you guys for everything, and keep on smiling.
Thank you.